So the bell rings, and I can finally exhale, because calculus is challenging. But now I have to inhale to sustain life, but mostly because I'm about to enter the jungle. No, I'm not talking about the Amazon. I'm talking about our lunch tables. I don't know where to sit. You see, there are the jocks and the plastics, then the nerds and the punks, right? But where do I fit in? Now, my high school isn't quite like the set of Mean Girls, but the lunchroom can be a scary place. I'm Daniella, and I love making new friends, but the cafeteria is a difficult place to start. At 16, I should be discovering who I am and what inspires me. But before I get a chance to discover, I walk into my high school's cafeteria, and I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I have to label myself and sit with people like me, otherwise I'm more lost than I already am. Maybe when it's time for lunch, you feel lost, like you're in a jungle, or maybe you sit where you feel comfortable, with the same friends routinely. Whatever your situation, we must change the way we see lunch tables, because lunch is supposed to be a time to laugh and to learn from the people around us. Not for sameness, not for bullying, and certainly not for being scared. Students today are on their phones all the time, communicating with students like the ones they are sitting with. It's rare to see us having conversations uninterrupted by social media notifications. Platforms like Facebook, like Twitter, are supposed to bring students together by allowing more ways to communicate. But in the lunchroom, social media distracts students from making meaningful connections with the students around them. There must be a way to expand our lunch tables, not just by adding more chairs, but to expand our tables, to explore, to experience something different where no one feels lost. I know that this table is out there, and I want everyone to be able to sit there. I co-founded a project, G.I.V.E, and through an exploration of cultural understanding and empathy, I've been to that table, and I would like to share what it was like, and a few lessons that I have learned along the way. So I was first introduced to this new kind of lunch table in 5th grade when I wrote this simple letter. Dear Suma, my name is Daniella. I'm in 5th grade and I love to skate. It's a sport where you wear special boots so you can glide on ice and twirl and jump. Do people figure skate in India? What kinds of things do you like to do? I have a dog named Allie. What kinds of animals do you like? I've never been to India, but it sounds very pretty. Maybe someday I can meet you. Your hopefully future friend, Daniella. Dear Daniella, hi, I'm Suma. I'm 13. I go to school in Bangalore. I play chime, cutlock, and key. No, I don't play ice skating. I have a great teacher, Kavita. She will teach us math. I have 6 subjects. I like English the most. I also love animals. I love birds. We have an elephant. Your hopefully future friend, Suma. As a 5th grader in America, it was hard to comprehend what it was like to have an elephant, to live in a group home, to not have a parent to support me or any parents at all. I'd never been exposed to poverty or a different culture. I've never had to sleep on a dirt floor, never had to drink dirty water, worry if there will be food on the table or a roof over my head. Empathy learning needs to start young. I developed my friendship with Suma over the course of the next few years, and we've developed our friendship, and I've learned so much from her. I knew I was moving in the right direction towards expanding my lunch table, towards creating a completely different kind of lunch table, a global one. I loved the idea, and I wanted to share it with as many as I could. Today, G.I.V.E is a project that promotes cultural understanding and enhances education. We've sent thousands of letters and flip-flops to students from across the United States to schools in India, Uganda, and Rwanda. G.I.V.E believes that a more empathetic world is a better world, and by writing a letter to someone, we step out of our shoes and step into the shoes of another person and try to comprehend what it's like. But there are still some things that I just could not comprehend without living it and without seeing it. This is a picture from a few years ago. I was all of 5 feet, maybe 2 inches, yet I looked like a giant in this picture. And some of these kids are older than me. They are so small because before coming to their school, they didn't have enough to eat. They are so small because they haven't had enough to eat generationally. Earlier in the trip, a student offered me his bowl of rice about the size of my fist, and I thought to myself, these portions are tiny compared to what I get in my lunchroom. Most of my friends throw out more food than these kids actually eat. I had written letters to kids throughout India, and I knew I had learned so much about their lives, but this was different. This was and still is real life for some kids, and it hit me like a tidal wave. How could I be so uninformed? I knew that there was devastating poverty in India, but now I know what it looks like. I know what it sounds like. I know what it smells like. The students in India that I have met, they don't care where they sit. They sit on the floor because there is no lunch table. They don't care who's asking them to homecoming or what they will wear. They are just hungry and humbled to be alive, to be sitting next to someone. They're grateful to be eating, to be learning, and to be living. I'm sure that your mothers and fathers have told you, finish your dinner plate because there are poor kids starving. But what does that mean to us? I mean, we all know that there are poor kids in devastating conditions who don't have enough to eat, who don't have basic necessities like shoes. But what we don't know is what that means to us. It seems so disconnected because it's hard to relate to poverty and malnourishment in high school. We're confined to our own lunch tables. We've got new iPhones, Instagram, my English paper on the Canterbury Tales that's due yesterday, golf practice, the ACT, boys. Being in high school is a lot. How can anyone expect us to even comprehend what it's like to be a street kid in India with no shoes and no education when we spend too much time thinking about where to sit at lunch? But the question we need to ask ourselves is, why aren't we learning what it's like? Education should be more than just knowing there are poor kids. Education should be understanding what it's like. GIVE connects people from different worlds, and after countless exchanges, I can say without a doubt that students here have received as much as they have given. There's this epidemic of comfort to stay within our own world, but there is so much to be learned from the world other than the one that is comfortable for us, and other than the world that is in front of us. At lunch tables today, too many students are bullied. The US Department of Health and Human Services reports that 1 in every 3 students are bullied. Look to the person to your right, now look to the person to your left. One of us has been bullied. There must be something wrong. What is it about lunch tables today that causes this? Is it the physical lunch table itself? Well, the lunch table doesn't do anything. In fact, a lunch table should bring people together because it allows them a place to sit. It's the students who separate themselves because students tend to divide themselves. And those divided groups of students stay the same because that is what is comfortable. We need to get out of our comfort zones. TED is centered around ideas that are worth spreading, and the idea that I want to spread is to my fellow high schoolers. Radiate empathy. Whether lunchrooms are scary or routine for you, I know that lunch tables can be global. I've been there. I ate with students from across the world, and in turn, I have learned more than I ever could have imagined. Understanding and interacting with someone else's life can make us better people. We need to step out of our comfort zones, invite students of all ages and cultures to our tables, and explore. So the next time we think we're entering the jungle, try to think of it as an adventure. Believe me, it's worth it. Thank you.